Hey YouTubers, Belinda here. You're watching Fight the Good Fight. We are the true warriors. Uh, I had to ask why can't I ever get any closure? And it wasn't until, I always say this, but from the outside looking in, to the relationship that my ex had with his new old supply. They've been dating for like 7-8 years. You know, me and we've been separated for 7 years, but he was seeing her for like a year in our relationship, and I didn't know. I had no idea. I found out from at the time he was 3 years old. My son, he told me when he went over there to visit or something, and I couldn't go over there. Anyways, that's a different story. I do that. I have to watch myself. Anyway, whenever they broke up, I would always know, because he would blow my phone off the hook, whether it be that he was trying to love bomb me, or either that, or he had no one to take his frustration out on, and so he would blow up my phone with insults, and I would be over here like minding my own business, and just out of the blue, like talking about stuff 15, well, maybe it wasn't that long ago, no, like 10, 11, 12 years ago or whatever. You know, I said, you know, that's the beauty of separation is that I don't have to care anymore about this stuff. I don't even have to defend myself, because even what he was accusing me of at that time, it was bogus, you know, and so they don't even believe what they're accusing you of anyway. They know you're a good person. That's why they chose to be with you. If they didn't think that you were a good person, then they would go find a good person, because somebody that's not good-hearted or whatever, they're not going to put up with this stuff. If they're selfish, they're not going to give themselves the way that we gave ourselves until we were empty. You know what? So anyway, it wasn't until I started observing their relationship that I began to piece things together. And probably because my emotions weren't so involved. You know, our emotions blind us. And I know it just seems like the end of the world. Like, it turns our whole entire world upside down. Because when they put us up on that pedestal, it's like they know they're doing it for not because they're enjoying it, not because they feel these things about you, not for any other reason but to place you up above himself, above everyone else in the world, because the higher that he puts you up, the harder and longer you will fall. One of my favorite songs, I had several songs that reminded me of him, or that I felt that was our song, but the one that coincides with the topic, Why Ask Why, for closure, was Leave the Pieces When You Go. I remember telling him when he left me and he was seeing another woman, leave the pieces when you go. I would constantly tell him, how am I gonna figure out how to get my heart back? I want my heart back from you. So I know how to let you go. Like, there was never any closure, and for the life of me, and believe me, I'm the type of person that I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. I'm gonna get some answers. I'm gonna figure it out. You know, no matter what it is, it doesn't matter. It's a challenge. Make it a challenge for me. So, whatever it is, that's just the way that I am. I'm maybe curious. It's I don't know, maybe curiosity killed the cat, probably, but I don't know. Sometimes it's done me some good, and that way, if I know the truth, I can move on. You know, that's how I feel about it. Because who wants to base their decisions in their life on a lie? You know, you want a foundation of truth so you can build on that. It's kind of like algebra. If you're presented the wrong equation to work on. It's like, I remember those algebra problems took up a whole page, sometimes even more than one page. But if you got anything wrong in any part of that problem, you had to go back through the whole thing and check the whole thing all the way back to the beginning to find your mistake. And then when you found your mistake, then you don't have to go all the way back, but you work from there and go from there and continue on, and then come to the right answer. It's the same thing, like, in a relationship. We were presented the wrong equation. So how do you build on that? You can't. You can't. So if you can't get to an answer, you can't get to the right answer if you were presented the wrong problem. The entire relationship was built on a lie, and it's like it's the foundation of the relationship. And we it's like we build a mansion on sinking sand. They program us not to have any closure. It's part of the whole control that they want to have on us. What it is, and the reason why I say that about bringing up his mistress or his, I think they're broke up now. I don't know. I blocked him, but my son has a phone, and if he wants to reach him, he can call him or whatever. He hadn't been in his life for several months. He's only in his life when he's trying to get in my pants. It's true though, and he sees that. He recognizes it for what it is, so he doesn't even care to have a relationship. It's a very sad situation, but it's better off, I think. I used to try to get them together because I just so craved my whole life for, my children to have a relationship with their father and have a family and us all be together and everything, but it didn't work out that way. And that was my bad, my just blind. So, anyway, so back to his mistress. She would begin texting me and calling me and crying and I told her she needed a place to stay or whatever because she didn't have any family here. And he would constantly kick her out. He would kick her out like 15 times in a month, and she ended up losing everything. She had, her house and a good job. She was in realty and won all kinds of awards and beautiful car and a swimming pool and just all this stuff. Well, she lost her over a period of just 1 year at the tail end of their relationship. First she lost her job, and I'm sure it's because he would keep me up all night arguing and stuff, and then be able to function at a job. I did it though. So she lost her car. She sold her home. She sold all her furniture in her home. She lost everything. And when he would kick her out before, she would end up sleeping in her car. She's calling me, she's texting me, she's crying, she's upset. I just need closure. I just need closure. And it was like, wow. I remember the desperateness. I needed it, like I needed air to breathe. That's how bad I needed the closure. And I never got it. Not in the way that I wanted or that I thought that I should get it. I got my closure. But it had nothing to do... See, we're for some reason, because we're programmed like this, we need their approval. They programmed us to need their approval. That's what, like they made themselves our life. Like they tried it. They don't want us to have any friends. They don't want us to be close to our family. That's why they talk bad about us to them, and out of concern for us, like supposedly, and all that, because they want us to be just totally dependent on them. That's mine didn't even want me to work, nothing. Not even a pet. Like if I spent too much time with a pet or even my own children, that was a problem. So I began to really look into this, like what is the deal with the no closure, And it dawned on me that they never, so how they always put guilt trips on us. They always play the victim. They always make us feel that they think that we hurt them. So there's that lingering, it's never a close, but never solved. As much as we tried to convince them and defend ourselves, because we did not want them to go through. We don't want them to feel a certain way because of a misunderstanding, because we don't want them to be hurt. Is one of the reasons, plus we want to be understood. But so we're left with that feeling, whether we realize it or not. It's there, and we think that they still feel that way. So we still want them to understand, but they understand. They know exactly what they're doing, and don't give it a second thought. And if we continue and we call and we still, and try to go back and try to convince them and everything, they're eating it up, boy. He's basically, when we're crying and begging or whatever we're doing or whatever, we're basically, putting whipped cream on the top of his sundae with a cherry, maybe a lot of cherries. But basically, in a nutshell, the reason why we feel that we don't have closure is because it was left as a misunderstanding, and we really feel that we desire for their approval, and we don't like to be misunderstood. Nobody likes to be misunderstood. But the only closure that we're going to get is the realization, all the way back to the original equation that we were presented with. It's not until we go all the way back through the problems and see every single argument was based on a lie, and it was used as a distraction of what was really happening and tactics to program us, and that we fell for it the whole way through. We have to be strong. The truth hurts, but it does in fact set you free. And it hurts going down that memory lane to the realization of, I was so played and I fell for it. But it is what it is. We have to take our losses, and we have to just realize, and the sooner that closure thing, man, that'll get you. But that's why I titled this Why Ask Why, because we've already wasted so much time defending ourselves over things that they already know is true. Sorry about that, that's my AC. We've already wasted so much of our time. Don't waste any more time trying to figure out or trying to get closure, or looking in the wrong places for the closure, trying to figure things out without going down the memory lane and seeing things for what they are, because we are the true warriors. We not only have our own demons to fight, we've been fighting theirs, and a lot of us didn't even realize that we were in a spiritual, psychological war. And we were fighting battles all over the place, you know, and we had fiery darts thrown at us from every direction. And some would just get, you know, right underneath our belt and blindside us. And hindsight, confusion. So the closure thing, you can get closure. It's possible to get closure, but it's within yourself. Don't expect anything ever again from a narcissist. These are the people that enjoy watching us squirm. They take pleasure in it. They've programmed us. They've rewired our brain. We need to go back to the beginning, the way that we were before we met them, and put things into perspective and put things back where they go, where they belong. Have our boundaries set. Our boundary, you know, don't let anybody cross over them so we get bent out of shape. Don't let them leave you shapeless, because we have let them cross our boundaries so much that we begin losing ourselves. We begin losing who we are. You have to relearn everything. You have to go through everything and realize, because if not, and if you're going to put it on the back burner and not walk through the fire and the flames, then it's just going to be coming at you throughout your whole life. When you're in denial, denial is true. It's true. Denial is a bitch. Because if you're in denial, you're going to continue feeling this way. And, but then you're going to have things that remind you and triggers and stuff like that. And they're going to come up and they're going to slap you in the face. And if you continue to refuse to look at it and see it for what it is, because it hurts. But I don't believe that, I believe everyone that is watching this video right now is going to be strong enough to face it, because we're all so desperate to get to the bottom of this and to know what in the world is going on so we can fix it. So this is what's going on. And it's a very, very sad, sad situation. And the biggest pill that I had to swallow is the realization of knowing that he never loved me. That was the hardest thing. I feel like I'm going to get emotional just talking about it. But he never, ever loved me. Like, the whole thing was to watch me fall. That is the most cold-hearted thing you could do. It's evil. It's just pure evil to do that to somebody. You gotta get out of there. This is demonic. And they think it's funny. They think it's funny. He got me and his girlfriend into an argument because, you know, he's an instigator. He would tell her things that I said, vice versa, or whatever, you know. Then he put us on three-way on text, and we started getting at it or whatever, you know, arguing, or, you know, she started cutting me down about things that she knew nothing about. And then when she started getting into that she has to pick up my slack with my son when he goes over there, that's when I had it. So we got into it. And he's just sitting back reading all this, calling himself Charlie, and that we're his angels. Ha ha, LOL. 2 broken girls, LOL. Now, I just take a minute, just think about that. LOL. 2 broken girls. Look what I have created. Look what I've done. I deserve a medal. I achieved my goal. Mission accomplished. That's the kind of people that you're dealing with. And I know that it's not just just that one person, because they're all the same. Then there's extremes. You know, some are more than others, and they're called psychopaths. Some are less, and I believe they're called sociopaths. And then there's the covert and the overt. You know, so you do have different, but I mean, I dealt with both. My second one was an overt, and my third one was a covert. So I had the best of, or the worst of both worlds, I should say. But they both have the same tactics. They both, you know, mess with you the same way, and they both feel a sense of gratification when they have totally crushed your soul and spirit. So, you know, the truth, it does in fact hurt, but it will set you free. And God says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. We are to be wise as serpents, so we know our enemy, so we know what we're up against. Because if we don't know, and we're being played, and we react on how we're being played, we're wasting all of that time and energy on something that's not even in existence. What a waste of time. Being upset about something that's and they think they laugh at it. They think it's funny. Inside they think it's funny. Because that's the control thing. Haha. I got her to think this, and she's reacting this way, and you know, they're getting fed off of it, and they feel a sense of empowerment over that. And that's why it's very, very important that we don't react from it. Hey, Sassy. You see my doggy? That's my doggy. She's a sweetheart. Her name's Sassy. Sassy Prance. Ooh, I don't like that though. Sassy Prance. Because she does this little prance, you know. She's like, she stands up, and when she's feeling sassy, and she does her back hind legs, like, I can't explain it, but she does them up like this, like, it's so funny. So she's Sassy Prance. Like sassy pants. But anyway, I think I said everything I want to say. It's always like when I shut it down, I think, oh, I should have said this, or oh, I should have said that. But you know, when I don't sugarcoat things, and I tell you things straight up, and you know, it's not that I'm being cold-hearted or whatever, because you know I'm with you. I've been through it, but I know the importance of facing it for what it is, so you can get it behind you. So anyway, why ask why? Why ask why? I can't get any closure. Don't expect it from them. It's within yourself. So, fight the good fight. We are the true warriors.